I'm Caleb. Please like and subscribe. Hello.
Welcome.
Hi. Caleb, you're going to knock the table over.
We're back. Maybe.
Thank you for joining us on another podcast. We've got some topics we're going to go over today that will be a little different than I think normal.
Yep. Talk about a couple of projects that we've never talked about before.
Yeah. So it'll be good.
Yep.
And you know who the talk about it guy is.
Yeah, the taste test, though, is going to be kind of cool because this time we ran out of weird sodas, right? Thank goodness. And then, so we procrastinated because little secret behind the scenes stuff. So the last podcast that wasn't a blooper reel was actually recorded the Tuesday before because this guy actually has a life. And so he was doing stuff. So we actually haven't, we've had 2 weeks to prep for this and we didn't.
Yeah.
So our taste test is going to be a little bit different. We're going to do basically like a blind taste test of 5 sodas that are everyday sodas and see if we can identify them and see how bad we are. So that should be fun.
It will be.
Okay. You want me just to get right in it or you got something else to say?
No, unless Caleb's got something very super important, like a maybe Wendy's has a thing.
Wendy's got a special salad this week.
I haven't been in the city for a while.
What about Quick Trip?
Quick Trip's got some new drink out.
The prices have gone up, but no new items.
Yeah, thanks for that. All right, so we'll get right into the crypto talking. Like I said, we're going to talk about some stuff that we've never talked about before. I don't think, anyways.
No.
So one of them is something called Grove.
Not
Sorry,
Bohemian Grove.
My throat is dry.
COVID.
Grove token is something that's new, that's been out. I should have looked at when it actually released. What are you talking about? What did he just say?
You got COVID?
Nothing.
COVID. I think he said Coke.
No.
He said
You're
Grove.
dealing drugs over there or something. But anyways, Grove token is something that's fairly new. I don't remember the date. It's been out for probably, I would guess, 3 to 4 weeks, maybe a little longer. But what makes it different than anything else, besides their utilities and things that haven't launched yet, is they have a anti-whale, what they call an anti-whale.
An anti-free willy?
No.
What?
It's so that whales can't take. I know it's a whale. So they can't take tank the token. So what happens is you can only, and I say only because this number is like more zeros than we deal with on a regular basis, own 500 trillion. That's it. You cannot own more than 500 trillion. Now remember, I know it seems like a lot. That's not dollars. That's actual tokens. And right now there's 8 or 9 zeros in front of Grove's number. So I think I bought. I don't know if we're supposed to say exactly what we're invested in any of these. Let's just say a very little amount of money got me billions of tokens. Is that fair enough to say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So also, not only can you not only have, you can't do math. Not only can you not only own 500 trillion. That's so many zeros. I'm stuttering over myself. But when you go to sell your tokens, you can only sell 10 trillion at a time. So every 6 hours. So that keeps somebody from owning, say, 500 trillion tokens. The price loses 3 or 4 zeros, and then they dump all 500 trillion, and the market goes.
And that's a BSC network, right?
It is a BSC token. So there's also taxes on that too.
Gas fees every time.
Yeah. So there's a 10% tax, buy and sell tax. I wrote this down because I knew I would remember. 1% of that every time goes to a buyback, which is going to go into a wallet, a buyback wallet, so that they could release that back into the system anytime that they think it may need a boost. Okay. Then you're going to have 1% that goes to the liquidity pool. 3% is going to go to marketing, which I haven't really seen a marketing campaign for it yet. So that means when it does hit, it'll be big. 2% they're going to burn. And then 3% is going to reflect to the shareholders. Now, I will say that every day that I've owned this token, I have gotten in the billions of reflections every day. And sometimes...
That's pretty big.
Yeah. Like, I've not seen reflections like this before. So, okay. I said billions. I own billions, millions of reflections a day.
Yeah.
Sorry. But in the tens of millions. Not like
There's a lot of
million.
there's a lot of illions.
There's a lot of zeros in these numbers. But I will tell you that it still, what happened to Grove over the last week is what dumbfounds me when it comes to the crypto market. So I buy in, it 5 times itself, and then it sells back down to where it's like I'm still doubled, but people aren't making that much money on this. People are still looking at cryptos as a short term. I want to dump $50 into something. I want to turn it into $1,000, then I want to get out. Whereas if they would just leave that $50 in there in 3 months, instead of it being worth $1,000, it might be worth $3,000. In 3 years, it might be worth $30,000. But people, for whatever, and it's your money, and you can do whatever you want. But they're getting into it to make $200. But not just one guy, like lots of guys are doing this.
Yeah. Right.
So if that wasn't there, then this token would already be at 20xer since I bought in. But search it or check it out. Google Grove token. Check out their website. Their roadmap is awesome. What they're wanting to do has sustainability. Dubai, their headquarters is going to be in Dubai. There has been money invested in this that makes me think there could be some things behind the scenes that we don't know about that we're going to see come out of that area, which, I mean, I'm a dreamer. What happens if Dubai would happen to use Grove as their standard token?
Mm-hmm.
That would be huge. I'm not saying that's going to happen. Okay, don't take that as I'm brainstorming here.
Right.
But their headquarters is in Dubai.
Yeah, enough said right there.
Pretty sweet.
I mean, I know what that means to me.
So look into it. I will tell you this: no matter what happens with the price, this is a token that I'm going to continually buy into, probably on a monthly basis, as I take proceeds from other projects that I'm invested into, along with others. It's not the only one. It's not like all of a sudden that I'm setting everything aside and this is it, and this is the new kid on the block. But this is something that I can get excited about and
Hanging tough.
Yeah.
New kid on the block. All right. So, but I did want to bring up one more thing, and then we'll get into the fun stuff. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fun.
As I was over here talking, as I watch this back, you guys have lots of conversations that I don't even notice.
I know. It's fun.
You're the talk about it guy.
Okay, so as a talk about it guy, I want to talk about ETC. Okay. So we've never talked about ETC before, but it's actually been my second longest standing investment that I've had since I've been in the crypto world. I've owned ETC for a couple years now, I guess. I don't know. It's been a while. But this week, it jumped 53%. Okay? In the month, it has jumped 152%. Mm-hmm. It is on the move up. So the question I always ask myself is, why? So Ethereum is now going to go V2. Right? Mm-hmm. And they just announced that they've ran their last test that they need to make this happen, and that it should be going V2 in September.
Which Ethereum V2 is a big deal.
A big deal because it changes from proof of work to proof of stake.
No miners.
Which means now you can't mine it. Mm-hmm. Well, you still can right now, but in the next month or so, you won't be able to. So miners have millions, maybe billions of dollars worldwide.
Millions upon millions.
I don't know, in mining equipment that now they can't mine Ethereum. So, what's the guy's name? Vladirin, the guy that made.
I don't even try it anyway. I just saw the V guy.
Yeah. So he actually was the inventor of Ethereum. And he has come out and said, yeah, no, you can't mine it. Once it goes V2, it's proof of stake. It's not proof of work. But if you want to mine, you can always do Ethereum Classic. It's still a proof of work token, and it's not changing. Mm-hmm. That's why they split. They kind of didn't see eye to eye. So I tried to look up the statistics on how much is being mined right now, like to see if there's been a jump yet. I know as of in May that the miners hadn't switched over, but I don't know about now. But you will see at least a percentage of those miners turn those machines over to ETC. Mm-hmm. And when that happens, what's going to happen?
ETC
it's going to raise. Mm-hmm. Okay? So It is right before we filmed this, it was at $38. Last night it was up to 44, so it has come back. But last week it was at like 17, something like that, 18 maybe. It's still a token that there's money to be made on out there. It's just that, of course, when you're talking about $38, $1,000 doesn't buy you very many of them compared to if you bought $1,000 a Grove that has like 8 zeros in front of it.
Right.
You can get a lot of money or a lot of tokens. But it's not about how many tokens you have. It also has to do with what's your goal. Are you planning on selling that at a certain deal where you're going to make 50? You turn your $1,000 into 10,000. ETC may be the better deal. That you may be able to do that faster than if you had a trillion Grove token. Maybe not. I don't know. I mean, because I don't control the market. If I did, I wouldn't. Life would be different.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, there's always that opportunity to make money on tokens that cost more than 0.2 of a cent, right? Mm-hmm. And the last thing before we get into the fun stuff, Ant Pool, which is a big mining deal, just invested $10 million into ETC for development. Why do you think they would do that? You wouldn't just give somebody $10 million if you didn't have a plan.
Because that's their next baby.
There you go. So, as a guy like me getting very close to where I wanted to sell it, now I am in a dilemma of,
You hold it.
do I hold it longer now? Do I change my plan on the fly? Because it looks like this could go from $38 to say $138, and really I wanted to sell it somewhere around $60.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But I'm going to have some time to do the research on that too.
Right.
What I will promise you is that I'm not going to do it out of emotion. It will be strategically planned out because emotion kills in the crypto game. Mm-hmm. And we always tell people that don't buy and sell off emotion. So anyways, it's a couple new projects that we haven't talked about.
Whoops.
But you know what, honestly, we've all done it. I mean, we're like, oh man, this could be the next big deal, and maybe overbought something that.
That's how we learn.
Yeah. So learn from our mistakes. Don't go out there and make the same mistakes. We don't want people to have to go through some of the things that we've been through to get to where we are now.
Right.
So.
Well, on another note, ETC will probably be the new. We're adopted on a lot of NFT sites like OpenSea, so that'll be a big deal. Because
it is that proof of work, and Ethereum is not. So now, I do think that the original, or ETC and ETH, Ethereum is going to go up also. I think there will be a bunch of hype behind it, but until the world understands the utility behind the proof of stake, then I don't know how much. So there may be some short-term money to be made in that, and maybe some long-term money to be made in that too. But I know that Caleb and I were discussing that this morning, that you could absolutely get to that point where it, say, goes to about that 3,000 point sell, see what happens after that. You might be able to buy back in at a cheaper price. You might have regretted it, but as long as you buy into something, it doesn't, and you think it's going to go up, it really doesn't matter what price you buy it at. Mm-hmm. I know that sometimes people are trying to get things at all-time lows. If your research is telling you that this is going to go up, it doesn't matter where it started at, right? If it goes up, if you know it's going to go up 20%, it doesn't matter if you bought it at $1 or at $1,000, it's still 20%. Mm-hmm. Okay, so just something to think about. I feel like I've rambled and talked for a really long time, and maybe I have nobody still watching, but we'll see. Hey, the TV's still
good info. Good info.
Yeah. But check those out. Check out Grove. Check out ETC. Do your own research on that. But I'm telling you that both of those, there's going to be money to be made there, for sure. And some new topics we haven't touched, which I like.
That's good.
I mean, we talk about, I don't know,
SafeMoon.
About a 10 same-ish because they're in the high profile. But I think people would be amazed at how many tokens we're actually invested in.
Right, yeah.
And I see that war on Twitter all the time. You know, people are like, no, you can only love SafeMoon. Okay, that's dumb. You should be diversified. If somebody is telling you to not be diversified, if you are investing $100, okay, I wouldn't diversify $100.
Yeah.
But if you are investing thousands of dollars, you better be diversified, or you are going to be really sad one day. I don't care what token you're involved in.
Mm-hmm.
They're all going to have their ups and they're all going to have their downs. So that's why we're going to try to bring you some more information. We're actually I'm going to spend some time looking into SAFU this week. We may talk about that depending on what I find. But check them out. See what happens. You don't even have to invest now, but the more knowledge you have, and then when you are ready to invest, the better off you'll be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, done.
Oh, sorry.
All right.
Hey, he's chomping at the bit over here.
Yeah, he's ready. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right.
Our first topic for today is, I guess we've been out of school for a while, but what was your favorite?
30 years.
Shh.
For a while.
A while, like a couple
while.
weeks.
You guys
What
know
was,
me.
what was your favorite school subject?
In high school?
High school or college? Doesn't matter.
What, you guys, I have to go first?
Yep. We're looking at you.
Oh, yeah.
I
He's
didn't
looking at
like
you, kid.
school.
You didn't like school?
All right, my favorite class in high school was English because I really liked the teacher.
Sweet.
But, yeah, Swick. Shout out to Swick. Doubt she even knows about this, but if you happen to be watching, I hope
Yes,
you're doing
Swick.
well. But in college, I loved public speaking. Like, I wasn't a big fan of public speaking, but when I took it in college, that professor was awesome. And he broke it down into, like a class of, 100 people into, 5. And so for a week, we went to class. And then the next week, 5 more people, and so on. And then he divided the class in half. And so then for your first speech, you presented in front of 5 people. Your second speech, you presented, actually, I think there might have been 50 people
I see
in the
what
class.
he's doing.
Yeah, in front of 25. And then your last speech, your final, which was like an 8-minute speech, was in front of the entire class. And by the time it was done, you weren't worried about speaking in front of people anymore. And
That's a good idea.
That is a smart
I can't remember his name,
way to do it.
but my favorite college professor. He was awesome at what he did. So anyways,
So
go
public
ahead.
speaking.
Yeah, in college. English in high school.
All right. Well.
So I had 2 answers, Caleb. What do you think about that?
You can leave.
Okay, so I'll see you guys next week.
So what about you, Greg, or do you want me to go?
I'll go.
Okay.
Math. I've always liked math. Math was my favorite.
It's your teachers, or?
Yeah.
Is she still alive?
Good teachers. What's that?
Is she still alive?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I know who you're
Okay,
thinking
well,
of, but I was gonna say.
We won't say nothing then.
No.
Yeah, I mean, you probably don't know him, but Mr. Maine was probably my favorite teacher, math teacher.
Nope, didn't know him.
No.
You're too young.
But I always loved math all the way through school. Did math contests, and
Nerd.
it was fun.
Mine was science. I like science all the way through school. I just like
Science is
doing
good.
the
Who was your science teacher?
Gepford and Witt in high school.
I never had a class with either one of them.
I know
Gepford
Gepford.
was a coach of mine in baseball, but
Wit?
I never had a class. Mrs. Witt.
Yeah, she's
I
like
think I remember the name. I never
What's she,
had
a
her.
little
like the
tiny
principal
thing?
now or something.
Was she like a little tiny thing though?
Mm-hmm.
Compared to you, she probably looked like toothpick.
I always loved doing the
Exposure.
labs and stuff like that. Working
see
with my
that.
hands.
College science labs were cool.
Yeah.
We got to mess with it. I just didn't attend very much. That semester I didn't do very well. I didn't go to class a lot that
You
semester
were-
of science.
Doing other things.
All right, our second one. Your favorite book of the Bible?
I have to go again first.
No, Greg does.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Boom,
all right. If I had to pick one, I'd probably say Job,
Oh, wow.
because it's pretty brutal book.
Yeah, it is. Job did not have
It's-
a good life.
No.
No, he did, then he didn't.
Yeah.
It was real bad. Then it was better
Yeah, it got
than
better.
before. So it's a good story to me.
I like that.
Okay.
First Thessalonians.
Did you have to read it?
I wrote it down so I wouldn't say it wrong, but I still said it.
You said- Why first?
Well,
there you go. Now I can't say it.
First Thessalonians. That's
It's just one of the first ones at summer camp that we studied, and I just remember kind of breaking it down, and it was
it's just one you're familiar with
Yeah.
the most.
Okay.
people,
So I don't. Go ahead. I'm
no,
sorry. I
go
thought you
ahead.
were.
Wow,
No,
he's
keep
no,
talking.
no,
Keep talking.
no.
He's like
Get up
First
top.
Thessalonians. Huh?
that's all I got. Mic drop.
Mic drop. Okay, so I don't really have a favorite book of the Bible. You guys came up with this question without me, so I don't really have one. I have a couple that I study more than others. 2 Timothy being one I study a lot. But I've been studying Galatians a lot recently. If you know, you know. But
Thanks,
I
Casey.
would, shout out Casey. Thanks for that. Thanks for needing days off. But Galatians has really made me think a lot about just God and what Jesus gave and how we are sometimes too dumb to accept it, and even when we do ask Him to be our Savior, that we still try to do the worldly things. And so I would guess right now, I got to pick 2 Timothy, but if you haven't read Galatians in a while, you better get in it.
I like Galatians.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty brutal too. I mean, Paul's giving them the business about how dumb they are.
I read it.
He's nicer than that, but really they were being dumb, and he lets them know.
Yeah, I read through it a couple months ago.
Yeah. So, yeah, there you go.
Okay, next one is your favorite release blockchain network.
Yeah, keyword released,
Yeah.
not upcoming.
Oh, that's why you said released?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'm like, that makes sense now. When I read that first, I was like, well, of course it's released.
I
Go
knew
ahead.
everybody was probably going to say
You go
SafeMoon,
first, because
but-
everybody knows what you're going to say.
The Script Network, which is what Dogecoin and Litecoin are on.
Next.
All right. Wow.
Ethereum.
Oh, yeah, I should have known you were going to say that, but I was really wondering what your answer was going to be.
We just need to
Ethereum.
get shirts. An Ethereum, Doge, and the FS Mafia probably, right?
Oh, I need, like, polka dot shirt, and every dot has a
A different
a
one.
different one on it.
Polka dot, which is a crypto.
You went Script, you went Ethereum.
That's what got me started, so I have to stick with it.
Touche.
Don't judge me.
I really don't have a favorite. So
Yeah,
the one
sure.
I'm enjoying the most right now is the Kronos.
It's a good one.
Yeah, well, I'm really excited about it.
Yeah.
We haven't really talked about it,
Not yet.
but
Not yet.
I'm planning on that.
Couple weeks.
Yeah, it was supposed to be this week, and it didn't happen, so we're looking the second week of August.
So we just dropped that one out there.
Yeah,
A
so
little something.
got some pretty cool stuff coming up for those of you that don't know. Those of you that want to know, all I'm going to say is do some research. It didn't Mike pick that up. Do some research. Taste the rainbow. Yeah, I'm telling you,
No.
there's some pretty cool stuff out there on
No.
the Kronos chain. So, yeah, look into it. Go. I like whispers.
Okay, our last one for today of
Whispering
Caleb's
is
choice.
the coolest.
Is your favorite barbecue restaurant?
Favorite barbecue restaurant.
Yes.
Okay, so at the count of three, you and I want to give the same answer.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Gates and Sons.
Why'd you have to say it faster?
I
It's supposed to be the same time.
Gates and Sons.
Gates. You can't beat
Yes,
Gates.
Gates and Sons.
Whatever.
Gates.
The Suns never did
Technical.
nothing for me. I think they have the best barbecue sauce, and that's what I grew up on, and I love Gates. I enjoy a lot of different barbecue. Well, I mean, you can't see because of the table. I have a big belly.
Get in my belly.
But that is my favorite.
And the portion sizes are good. They'll fill you up
Yeah, even for a giant
for the
like you.
prices.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Caleb's got to get two. So, you answer, then I have a question about barbecue for you guys.
Okay.
Okay.
Zarda.
Speak, Greg, speak.
Zarda.
Their beans are awesome.
Why do you have to be like Zarda?
Zarda.
They have the best beans.
They do.
I would agree with that.
I've never been to the restaurant. I just had their beans.
I've always had
You're
a
not
good
going to
experience.
expand on that?
No.
It's the best.
Beans
Throw
are
it out
good. I like their sauce.
Is Zarda outside of Kansas City?
I don't know. There's one in Lenexa. That's one I used to go
I mean,
to.
like a different. Okay. now
No.
you're-
I know what you meant, but I don't know outside of that. I don't
For
know.
those of you that don't know, Lenexa
There's
is
one
a
in
suburb of
there's
Kansas
one in
City.
Blue Spring.
Okay, how
I know
about a
what you
different
meant.
state besides Missouri and Kansas?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, I didn't know either.
I don't know.
So, a question for you. Before you started to, you were like an adult and you like cooked out barbecue, smoked it, whatever.
5 years ago.
Did you enjoy barbecue
good.
as much? And do you not like certain restaurants now because you know how to do it? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because
I know what you
really,
mean.
the only barbecue place that I'm really going to go out to eat, besides maybe the Brandon Iron, little shout out to a local restaurant, is Gates. Otherwise, I'm pretty much going to cook it myself.
I'm with you on that one.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I know, but 5 years ago, I wouldn't have been that way.
Yeah.
I would have been wherever.
It's more enjoyable. Just
Yeah, I think so. But
Agreed.
the process.
Agreed.
and
Adventure.
then sometimes when
Yeah,
you like
it's-
pay
it's
the
an adventure.
bill, like you know how much meat I could have smoked for that much money.
I'm with you there.
So-
Yeah.
He likes adventures.
Adventures are good.
Caleb's the adventurous type.
Yes.
Okay, so
Taste test time.
Just
Okay.
test.
we explain to other people what we're doing then.
We want to get back.
Okay, fine. I was just letting. Greg's been really quiet today, so I was trying to get us some
Explain,
talking.
Greg.
Oh, well, do you want to?
No.
Nope, after we're back. We'll be back in just a few.
All right. Got- All right. So what we got here? We've got
Yeah, explain to people what we're doing because I'm so confused.
we've got five
sodas.
different sodas. 5 sodas. So what we did was we poured them in each cup with the label underneath the bottom, and then we mixed them up and then put 1 through 5 on them, so we didn't know which one was which. So as we test the first one, we're gonna write down what each one of us thinks it is
Yeah.
secretly,
Okay, yeah.
and then at the end we'll go through and see who's right and wrong.
Battery's flashing. So,
Okay, let's go.
which one we want to do first?
Oh,
Just start drinking.
wait. Oh, okay.
It don't matter, right?
I guess it don't. Yeah. It's number 2. Who does number 2 work
What
for?
number is this? 3. This pen doesn't work, Greg.
Aw.
There we go. There's this.
That's dirty.
That's yeah. I don't know about that one.
What number is that one?
4.
So far, none of them taste like I think they should taste like.
I think
Ooh, I know what that one is. I think.
That's 1. I need number 2. Where's number 2 at?
Here. What's the winner get?
I know what that one was before I even tasted it.
I can smell that one.
Wait, that was number 2?
2. I think
Wait,
this
that's
is
a-
easier than
Oh.
what it looks.
Where's number 5?
Wait. Yeah.
Uh-oh, Greg screwed up.
What the?
I know what this one definitely is.
I'm just guessing.
Okay.
All right.
All right,
So, what do you think number 1 is?
Dr. Pepper.
That's what I got.
That's what let's see. Ding, 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 ding.
Boom.
Yay.
All right. Number 2. It's got to be root beer, right?
Root beer.
If it's not root beer, I mean, it smelled
Yep.
like
Yeah.
root beer.
Root beer.
Yeah.
All right, down to the rest of them, I honestly don't know. What's number 3?
I think
I
Diet
put
Coke.
Diet Coke.
Diet Coke.
Oh, that's 4.
What's the glass?
Diet Coke.
Okay. So,
We're good at this.
can we taste test Pepsi and Coke?
Oh, here's the thing. All right.
What did you have for 4?
I
Josh?
put Coke.
Okay, we all put the same thing.
I put Pepsi.
No, you
4?
didn't.
Oh no, I put Pepsi. wait.
Wait, it's Pepsi?
It's Pepsi.
What?
4 is Pepsi?
4 is Pepsi. I got it wrong.
I got it wrong.
Oh,
too.
it is Pepsi. I think I wrote it
Well,
down wrong.
Yeah.
All right, I got it wrong.
So Coke, we got all 3 of us
That
got
Coke
the
tastes
Cokes
like
and Pepsis
But though,
It might be a dirty cup.
reversed.
a dirty cup. We didn't wash the cup.
So we tied.
Greg. It's
We
Greg's.
tied. That's like kissing your sister.
So Greg's buying lunch. Have
Yeah.
a great day.
Captain D. Have a great day.
He's got the last wrong name. He loses.
We all tied.
Hey, so because we're going to lose battery, have a great weekend, and God bless.